And good morning to you. It's a Monday. I know work week has begun. Good to have you with us. I'm Todd Duplantis, and you're watching Up to the Minute. We've got your HCCTV or your HCC news for the next half hour. And my co-host this morning, joining me bright and early on a Monday morning, but I know she was up far earlier, Dr. Amy Tan. Good to see you, Amy.
Good morning.
Good morning. You were up very early. I saw some of your pictures. You were up before sunrise, right?
You know, it is getting darker. I mean, it's staying darker a little later, but yes, I was up with the sunrise and the full moon was still out and it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was beautiful, beautiful morning so far. Well, Amy, good to have you with us. I know it's going to be a busy week here at HCC. The semester is underway. Students are getting dug in their classes. And if you want to still sign up for classes for the fall, you can still do so. They're very shortened courses, but we'll talk more about that later in the program. Amy, we want to thank everyone watching us on Facebook Live and YouTube, but they can also catch us anytime in social media and on HCCTV.
That's right. We're live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page, not HCC, and YouTube. We're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and on HCCTV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. And that's Monday through Friday.
All right. That's right. So catch us anytime on HCCTV or social media. All right, Amy, stick around because you're going to be talking with one of our student success stories from HCC's online college. One of our students, Lorrin Gorman, is joining us now. Lorrin, good to see you.
Hi, good morning. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being here. We're looking forward to talking to you and hearing all about your experience with the online college. So go ahead and stick around and we'll be with you in about 10 minutes. I'm hearing my dog is behind me. Amy, was there a dog behind me?
Well, I think he's sleeping now. He looks like he's curled up in his bed.
Okay. No, that's the poodle. Yeah. Just don't mind her. Yeah.
she jingled something and my dog was like, what's that?
What's that? Okay. All right. Yeah, she does that. All right. All right, Amy. We're going to be back with you in a few minutes and you're going to be talking with Lorrin. But first off, it is Mental Health Monday. And our guest this morning is here to talk about a very important topic, Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And it's a group that's trained HCC on how to help women survive abuse. Thecia Jenkins is joining us now. Now, Thecia, you're the training director with the Harris County Domestic Violence Coordinating Council. Let's start off, first off, good morning and welcome to the show. Let's talk about what the council actually does, and maybe you can explain what it is.
Well, thank you, Todd, and thank you for the opportunity to be here with you. The Harris County Domestic Violence Coordinating Council, we are a nonprofit organization here in Houston, serving for the last 26 years. We are what is considered a coordinated community response to domestic violence. And so our primary function is to bring systems together. And when we talk about systems, we're talking about the judicial system, education system, such as HCC, faith-based communities, health care, media, and bringing all those systems together to respond to domestic violence, because the reality is only about 33% of domestic violence is ever reported to law enforcement, or only about 33% of survivors will actually reach out to a shelter. They are more likely to reach out to a professor at HCC. They are more likely to confide in a pastor, a priest, or an imam. And so we bring systems together to be able to help survivors have access to safety and services, hold batterers accountable, and most importantly, trying to prevent homicides related to domestic violence.
Let me ask you this, though. Why is that? Why is it because they feel comfortable speaking to maybe a pastor or a priest or someone at HCC? Or is it because they feel comfortable? They don't want things to be reported? What are the factors that play into that happening?
Well, Todd, it's about relationship. And, there's a quote that I live by in our organization is that no significant learning occurs without a relationship. Relationship is powerful. And so, yes, if I am a person who's in an abusive relationship, I may feel more comfortable with the person that I worship with. And, in my class, I maybe cultivated a relationship with my professor. And so I may feel more open in sharing that information that I wasn't able to get to class on time because my boyfriend took my keys. My boyfriend or my girlfriend wants me to drop out of school. So here's the thing is that the professor, the nurse, if I'm going for a physical, that if I have unexplained bruising, that person in that system has more of an opportunity to see what is going on with me. I hope that makes sense.
It does. It does make sense. And I want to clarify, because you mentioned something that was important there. From what I'm hearing, domestic violence can take many shapes or forms. Somebody may not be physically violent with somebody, but they're holding their keys from them, or they're saying, you know what, you need to stop going out to eat at lunch. You need to do this. I need to know where you are. Is that all forms of domestic violence? And maybe you can talk about what the definition is.
Exactly, Todd. And so here's the thing. Domestic violence is where one person seeks power and control over another. And there's something called the power and control wheel. I won't go through all 8 tactics. However, for the audience, if you put in power and control wheel on Google, it will come up. So speak to the fact of verbal and emotional abuse. Constantly telling the person, you're stupid. I don't even know why you're continuing to go to school. I don't care if you get a degree, you're still not going to be better than me. The isolation, pulling someone out of school, not allowing a person to go and get a job. When I first started doing this work over 28 years ago, I remember the first client that I had that I took her to go get her driver's license on Strawberry in Pasadena. This woman was in her 40s and had never had a driver's license. Why? Because her husband would not allow her to get it. And you would have thought she won the lottery that day. There are people right here in Houston right now today who do not have a driver's license. Fast forward to 2015, a young lady that I was working with, 26 years old, had never got a driver's license because her boyfriend would not allow her to have it.
Amazing. And it sounds like those numbers it happens a lot more than you would think, because you mentioned some numbers earlier. Can you give us some more statistics about domestic violence and really how many people could be facing this?
Well, what we know is that 1 in 4 women will experience domestic violence in their lifetime, and about 1 in 7 men will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. And when we talk about the fact that domestic violence, many times people think that, it's just quote unquote a toxic relationship. We're talking about criminal behavior, because we have the numbers in from Texas Council on Family Violence. And in 2021, there were 204 homicides related to domestic violence in Texas. 37 of those were in Harris County. And of course, we know that 1 week ago today, that Mayra Gutierrez was kidnapped and killed by her boyfriend.
Right. Did you see during the pandemic the numbers increase? You always hear about domestic violence going up because people were cooped up with each other, maybe drinking a little bit more. Did you see an increase over the last few years because of the pandemic?
We believe that, yes, we did, that the numbers did go up because of the isolation. And remembering that's one of the tactics that abusers use. Under normal circumstances, survivors could go to work, they could go to school, they had that time to get away. However, during the pandemic for 2 years, they were right there with the abuser. So yes, we did see domestic violence rise.
Let's talk about the abuser themselves. Can people be reformed if somebody abuses someone? Is that always going to happen? Because you hear factors being brought in like, they were drinking, or they went out with friends, or excuses. Can a domestic violence abuser be reformed, in your opinion?
I believe so. My personal opinion. I believe that anyone who desires to help, to receive help. I'll tell you a very quick story that I know we're short on time. In 2019, I held a program, and there were 3 men who attended this program. And towards the end, all 3 of them, glassy-eyed, one even said, you know what, I realize now that I've been abusive to the woman in my life. And they all said, there needs to be more programs for men to sit in and to learn about what is domestic violence, because many of the things that happen within an abusive relationship are learned behaviors. And many times I believe that men and women have no idea that they are being abusive. And so I believe that there is the opportunity for change. And one of those tools that is used in this work is called the Battering Intervention Prevention Program, Battering Intervention Prevention Program. It's called a BIP. It is for those who are abusers, and it's a 52-week program. And there's no hardcore results that say that people actually change. However, I have known of individuals who've gone through these programs and that they have been able to make a change. So yes, change is possible.
If someone needs help, can they reach out directly to your organization, or if they are, I know you do some work with HCC. If they're with a pastor or somebody, can they reach out to you to provide services for them to give to the person who's being abused? What would be the best way to do that?
The best way is that we give out the National Domestic Violence Hotline, and that number is 1-800-799-7233. 1-800-799-SAFE. And again, that is the National Domestic Violence Hotline.
And that's the best place to start if you've witnessed this, or if somebody's come to you, if you just want to get some information, if you're in a bad relationship as well.
Exactly. So what that means is that if you gave that to a student at HCC, and maybe they are originally from California, and the abuse has gotten to the point that they need to go back to California, they would be put in contact with the domestic violence agency in California.
Thecia Jenkins, Training Director for the Harris County Domestic Violence Coordinating Council, our Mental Health Monday guest. We thank you for joining us to talk about this very important subject. The statistics are very high, and it's something we all need to do something about. Thecia, thank you.
Thank you.
And we're going to have some more information, that phone number, in our social media post after the show. Okay, I'm going to turn things over to Amy. And Amy, you've got a very special guest. I know you always like talking to our students, especially to talk about a student success story, and you have one this morning.
It is. It's one of my favorite things to do, to talk to students, especially when it's a success story. So I'm very happy to welcome Lorrin Gorman, HCC online college student. Thanks for joining us, Lorrin.
Yes, thank you guys for having me.
Let's begin with a discussion about the flexible schedule you say online classes offer.
Yeah, so I really appreciate the flexible scheduling that you mentioned. Is the idea that, so I'm a full-time employee. I work full-time as a dental assistant, and I also maintain full-time status with online school. So the flexible scheduling that I'm referring to is, there's a lot of classes that are online at your own time, which are really, really helpful for people like me, students trying to go back, but have, a full-time job or a full-time responsibility during the day. Having that flexibility was game-changing for me, because when I first started, wanting to go back to school, I thought, well, am I going to be able to work, or am I going to, end up being in class all day? And so the flexible scheduling of having at your own time, at your own pace courses is phenomenal. And it's very, very appreciated for students like me.
That's really great to hear, Lorrin. Can you talk to us a little bit about your career plan and how the online college helps with that?
Yes. So I am, like I said, I'm currently a dental assistant, and I decided a couple years ago that I wanted to go back to school and become a dental hygienist. So that required a lot of prerequisites. Some dental hygiene programs require a full degree just to apply for the program and everything. So what I got to do is I got to look at everything that I needed to apply to the dental hygiene programs around, the city, including Houston community. And I sat down with advisors and mapped everything out. And there's even one feature that I use constantly is on My Eagle, the academic progress. And then you get to see what classes you need to sign up for the following semester. So all of that really ties into the career plan, because it's so focused on getting you to graduate and to get to, apply to the programs that you want. It's very, very, I felt like Houston Community is very career-based rather than just degree-based. They're preparing you and setting you up for where you're trying to get to. And for me, it's dental hygiene.
It's so wonderful to hear you say that. We really do work to try to make a path smooth and clear and communicate that with students. And it's wonderful to hear from you because you are in a field where I think we don't think is necessarily a career where you could do online education, and to hear how you're making it work and your pathway is really it's really great feedback for us, and we're just really happy that it's working out for you. What about pricing? Can you talk about the affordability of the classes?
Yes, so that was another big deciding factor of where I wanted to do my prerequisites and to apply to my hygiene programs. And Houston Community was one of the more affordable schools to do this. And per class, per hour, I think, when I compared it to other options that I had around the city of doing the prerequisites and, completing those courses that I needed, it was a no-brainer. There are some semesters that I'm actually able to pay out of pocket for. It was a big deal for me to not have to, I didn't want to have to take loans every single semester. Like I said, I work full time. I'm already involved in my career. I didn't want to, completely go backwards on that financially. And financially, I was able to, for a lot of semesters, I've been able to put myself, through the classes and through school. It was just amazing how night and day some of the pricing was. And like I said, it was a no-brainer. It's definitely impacting my life, my family, my financial future. That's another aspect that I'm very, very grateful for Houston Community.
And it is so important. I mean, we know how expensive higher ed can be, and HCC is really committed to staying affordable. And I think it's wonderful that you're able to manage without having, I think sometimes people have to take out loans if, that's what you have to do to get through. But also when you can get through without having to take out a loan, it really does set you up for that financial success when you change. Because I guess you'll be changing careers. You'll go from assisting to hygienic.
Yes.
And so what is the next step? Like, are you mostly doing prereqs and core online?
Yes. So what I decided to do, I started doing the prerequisites, and I decided, while I'm at it, why not try to complete another bachelor? So this is actually my second degree. I went to a more traditional university years ago. I don't want to out my age too much. And so I'm sorry, what was your question again? I just lost my train of thought a little bit.
No, it's okay.
My next step. I'm so sorry. My next step. So I'm almost done with my my prerequisites. And like I was saying, during the prerequisite time, I decided let's pursue another degree while I'm doing this. I wanted my prerequisites to go towards something, not just applying to the hygiene program. So I, again, met with an advisor, and we actually made it to where I was getting all my prerequisites done to apply for my actual program. But in the meantime, I actually have almost completed everything that I needed to get a bachelor's in psychology. So I'm almost done with everything that Houston Community has to offer there. And then I will transfer that over and finish out the bachelor's. And so two very exciting things regarding, my schooling. I'm actually going to be applying for the hygiene program this spring. And then by next fall, I will have also completed another bachelor's. So it's very exciting. And it's very cool that I got to do those things simultaneously. An advisor understood that, I just need prerequisites, but I want to get something a little more out of that. And if hygiene never works out, then I have another degree.
Really, really fantastic. It's so exciting to hear you talk about that. And I know my psychology colleagues are going to be thrilled to have you as a graduate of their program. And it's really lovely to hear you talk about, what we call non-traditional students who may have already started a career and want to come back to school. And, you're never too old to make a change. I spent many, many years working on my degree, so I completely understand your path. And we're so proud of you, Lorrin, and we're wishing you all the best. And we want to thank you again for coming on and talking to us today.
Yes, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
And we'll have more information, sorry, Todd, about the online college in our post after the show.
All right. Thanks, Amy and Lorrin. Okay. We've got a few announcements to get through for the rest of the show. And first off, we're in the midst of Hispanic Heritage Month right now. And we've got a leadership luncheon coming up. The Women in Leadership Association will celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month with a luncheon spotlighting 3 women speaking about their experiences, barriers, and other external factors shaping their careers. It happens 11:30 to 1:30 p.m., 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m., Wednesday, October the 13th. So that's this Wednesday. And let's see, it is at the HCC Southeast East Side Learning Hub. Okay, let's change the date on that because it's actually, if it's Wednesday, it's October the 12th because today's the 10th. So I just made that announcement. I'm not a math expert, but I'm just going to go with my gut feeling here. If it's Wednesday, unless we're just eliminating the number 12 from our vocabulary, then we're going to go with October the 12th. So I'll go with that, Amy. We'll have a link in our post, our social media after the post.
Yeah, so I'm checking my calendar, Todd, and I actually think it's Thursday. So it is October 13th.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay, correct. So it's October 13th, but that's a Thursday. We didn't eliminate the number 12. So
that's right. We just did the wrong math.
Okay.
We didn't do our calendar math.
Well, at least I had I'm really impressed with myself because I usually don't get math that well. So that's why
on the fly
major. Yeah. All right. Cookies for college education. That's going on as well. And no fancy numbers with this.
Let's hope not, because I don't know if I can do it that quickly, but I'm going to say that I'm a huge fan of Tiff Treats. I don't know if you've ever ordered from Tiff Treats, but if you order a sweet treat from them using the mobile app now through October 16th, use the promotional code HCCF 2022, and a portion of the proceeds will benefit HCC student success through the HCC Foundation. So be sure to look for that link.
Yeah, I love Tips Treats, and I got a problem with Tips Treats. Let me explain why. And it may just be me, but so I guess about a year and a half ago, we did an event virtually during the pandemic, and as a thank you, the chancellor's office sent us out some cookies through Tips Treats. So they were delivered to my building, and they never made it to me. Somebody apparently pilfered my cookies in the lobby of our building, and I never received them. So that it's still to this day, I still have a problem with that I never got my Tips Treats cookies. They were delivered. I know they were delivered, but they never got to me.
They're the best too. I mean, I don't know how they do it. They actually arrive warm.
Yeah, well, it didn't arrive at all for me. It arrived, but yeah, somebody took them. So
somebody in your building saw an opportunity there.
Took the cookies. I moved from that building since then, and that may have played a role in that, but I'll always carry that with me until I get more cookies. All right, looking for work study opportunities. Eligible work study students are encouraged to take advantage of this program to earn and learn. We'll have a link in our post after the show. It's a great opportunity, and we're always looking for work study students, I know, at HCCTV. Okay, need help for paying classes? There are ways to do so, Amy.
That's right. If you have a remaining balance with HCC, remember to sign up for a payment plan to avoid being dropped from your schedule. Check out HCC's district Facebook page and our links in the post after the show for more information on some payment plans that HCC offers to its students.
Okay, guess what? FAFSA is open. The 23-24 FAFSA application opened this month. So remember that filing a FAFSA application is the first step in securing financial aid for college. Check out our post after the show for step-by-step ways to help you keep track of what is needed for the 23-24. Can't believe we're already talking 23 and 24. 23 and 24 FAFSA application. Wow, hard to believe.
It's just crazy. And also, I can't believe I'm going to be one of those people who has to fill out a FAFSA for next year.
Oh, that's right. You've got a child that's going to be going off and doing that, right?
She's a senior. So, and the counselors are all telling us when the best time to do it is. So I'm just trying to follow their advice.
But that's what they're there for. Okay. Speaking of following advice, we've been advising people to sign up for classes. And if they really are desperate to get some hours in, Amy, before the semester ends, they can still do so, but the courses are very condensed, right?
That's right. They're intense. So just, we want people to make sure when they sign up that they know that they're going to have time, because it's kind of like taking, you're kind of doing instead of 3 hours a week, you're doing 6 hours a week. And so
it's double the classes, double the work, but you can still get the hours in if you sign up now. Time's getting shorter, so you need to do so now. So there's 5 ways to learn. A couple of them are online, a couple of them in person, or a couple of them hybrid rather, and then 1 in person. So you can sign up for that. Go to hccs.edu/apply. Tomorrow's Tasty Tuesday. We've got Bianca Brazil Coffee Distributors. Later in the week, President Dr. Frances Villagran Glover joins us. She's the Southeast College president. We've got a lot coming up this week. Amy, always good to see you.
Thanks so much for having me. I have such a great time when I come.
Yeah, we enjoyed seeing you, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. All right, folks, thanks for being here and Up to the Minute. We're back live tomorrow, 10 a.m. right here.